Car Cost Canada provides the dealer's cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get access to exclusive and powerful savings. The link is in the description below. Welcome to Estoril in Portugal. We're here with Porsche doing their GTS launch for not only the 718 sports cars, but also the Macan. Now, yes, Porsche is known for its sports cars, the 911, of course the Boxster and Cayenne as well, but this Macan has quickly become, ever since it was introduced, the best seller in the Porsche family. Now in 2019, they did the very first facelift to Macan, including larger air openings, a light bar that goes across the back of the vehicle, slightly larger front wheels. That was last year. For 2020, this is the big update, the GTS. And GTS typically, if you follow the Porsche cadence, means that this vehicle is now getting to the end of its run. We're probably going to get an all-new Macan in the next 24 months. So here it is, the final hurrah, the car that can do it all with more power, more curb appeal, more Porsche. The Macan GTS sits just under the Macan Turbo in performance and looks, and black is the theme for trim pieces. You'll notice black around the window frames. The front air inlets are also black, darker elements inside the headlamp lenses and tail lamps. You get a black side blade, plus the Porsche script is black along the back, including GTS. Across the back, you have the black roof spoiler, exhaust tips, and lower valance. The standard 20-inch wheel is, you guessed it, black. If you opt for the larger 21-inch wheel, they're brighter. Well, some beautiful mountain roads just outside of Estoril here in Portugal to exercise this Macan GTS. And I mentioned at the beginning, GTS really kind of signifies the end of this run. So they did the facelift, now they have this car. So something new is coming from Porsche in the next couple of years, but this is a great option to buy now. There's one particular thing I love about this particular model, and it's true for all Macans, and I'll get to that in a moment. I kind of call it the Goldilocks effect. But what you have at play here is the same engine they use for the Macan Turbo. That's the 2.9 liter bi-turbo 6-cylinder engine, and it has lots of power at 375 horsepower. And it's just such a beautiful, free revving, easy to drive engine. It has great low down torque. Peak torque comes on at just around 1700 RPM, so you never ever feel like there's a lack of power. And that certainly shouldn't be the case in any Porsche, but it's more specifically not the case with this. Then you get the suspension that has standard air suspension for the GTS. It's lower by 20 millimeters and also comes with the Sport Chrono package. So the vehicle looks lower on its wheels. The wheels are 20 inches and some of them are available with 21-inch wheels. So the great thing about coming to these events is you get to sit and talk to the people that design these cars, the engineers, and I had dinner with the head of the chassis development for this car, and I asked him, what's the best way to describe the difference between this and a Macan S? He said it's about 10% stiffer. That's the air suspension has been firmed up by about 10%. The stabilizer bar in the front is 7% stiffer and 11% stiffer. And when you add in the large wheels, overall he says it's about 10% more aggressive or more assertive than the Macan S. But he was quick to point out, he said, we don't want to make this car too aggressive and bumpy to drive every single day. And I think they've really managed a great balance, or kind of a chameleon effect. I think Porsche does this particularly well. When the car is in its sort of mild settings, it's a great everyday, easy to drive car. And then you have the buttons here and the steering wheel that wake this beautiful engine up, firm up the suspension, and take advantage of these beautiful country roads. It is a wonderful car with a great sound, and if you were to ask me my favorite engine in the Porsche family for SUVs, I would tell you that the 2.9 liter that we have here is my favorite, and this GTS is the final hurrah for a car that has been so successful for this brand, and if you can afford one of these, you owe it to yourself to try it. I mentioned there's something I want to point out, and it's the Goldilocks effect with this Macan. Well, when they updated this vehicle and gave it a facelift, so they put in a new screen, similar to the Cayenne, at 10.9 inches. But what they didn't change were all the buttons below that. So it has the best of both worlds. The original Macan with an update, sort of a halfway measure. But this, to me, is actually an improvement. Over at Cayenne, they went to full glass panels, kind of like smartphone touch panels. Touch sensitive. I prefer this look. I think it looks impressive. It's easy to use. When you're driving down, you can just look down quickly, feel the button, and then back to the job at hand. And I think that this is one of the reasons why I stress, if you like this product and you like the idea of having a high performance GTS, this would be the one to get, because you know when this gets updated fully for the next full model change, these will all be gone. Now, what other GTS touches do you get? Well, you get the bolstered seats, more bolstering in the seats, Alcantara inserts, which is industry speak for fake suede, which helps you stick in the corners. It's cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. It's a really robust product. It covers the steering wheel, the shifter, the armrest as well. A nice contrast stitch on the inside of this car, and you see GTS embossed on the headrest. So the rest of the interior is similar to the existing Macans, except for that big screen, which is just right. As mentioned, Porsche had 3 GTS models to drive in Portugal. This Macan GTS plus the 718 Boxster GTS 4.0. The 718 Cayman GTS 4.0, and I had a chance to drive the Boxster on the road and the Cayman on the track. Okay, now we're heading out on the track. As I mentioned, the former Formula One track here at Estoril. Look for that video next week, plus I'll link here once it's posted. With almost 400 horsepower and a flat 6 engine, it's a return to the original Boxster and Cayman formula, so look for that video. Okay, now back to the Macan GTS. This might be the perfect balance between a Porsche sports car character and the utility people demand. It's easy to see why this product has become the most successful car in the Porsche lineup. With 375 horsepower, a more assertive suspension, bigger wheels, modified PDK, and standard air suspension makes this utility feel much more like a car. It's remarkable how Porsche has managed to make the SUV feel totally disappear. Now, the base model Macan is for those that like the handling but probably commute in the city. The Macan S is a big jump up, but this GTS gives off the attitude that many Porsche buyers relish, with the price that isn't out of this world. It starts at roughly the same price as a base model Cayenne. Not bad. So this Macan GTS starts at $77,000 Canadian, and you can add features on top of it. It comes very nicely equipped right out of the box, and it's always looked at as a value proposition and a performance proposition for the end run of any particular model. So as they say, good things come to those who wait. The last version of this generation Macan is a good one. Car Cost Canada provides the dealer's cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get access to exclusive and powerful savings. The link is in the description below.